Hi guys, and welcome back to another Let's Build episode. So last time we started, or finished up actually, the walls of Smithshaven. And in this episode guys, we are going to be starting on a small dock, so just outside of the city walls. We're going to be doing a small fishing dock. Now if you guys are new to the channel at all, we do a lot of tutorials and time lapses just like this one. So make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also guys, if this is your first time watching one of the Lordsport videos or Dakr videos, I'll leave a link in the card above to the full playlist so you guys can get caught up after this video. Anyway guys, let's get into some building. So what I want to do with this is I want to have real harbour walls. Now, I live in Cornwall, we've got loads of these little fishing harbours around, and I wanted to have one where we've got these overlapping walls. So you usually see either two main kinds. We have these overlapping walls, which really breaks the waves up, or you have one bigger wall, which might be in more of a curve kind of shape, and really breaks the direction of the main big waves that come in, so that all of your ships are nice and safe. So that's what I want to do first. I want to have these two, and it kind of looks a bit like a place near me called Mousehole, or Mousel, as it's kind of called in its more colloquial form. So yeah, just building those up, making them really thick, and yeah, nice and simple really. So what I want you guys to do in the comments section is actually name this area, because I haven't got a name for this whole place. A lot of you guys were actually saying in the comments about the whole district having something with hook in the name, and I kind of like that as a form. So come up with a name. Doesn't have to have hook in it, but something fishing related just for this entire area. So it's like a little, almost like a little hamlet outside of the city walls, dedicated to fishing, but obviously is part of the city itself. Now with the actual colours, I actually went for quite a dark kind of theme, using the deep slate and things like that. I want to try and get more colour into Lordsport now that we've got these new blocks. So that was one of the main things that I wanted to do with this, and it also, I needed something to contrast against the walls. I couldn't just go with either cobblestone or stone brick. It'd be too light grey. So let's make it a little bit different. It also gives it its feel like it's been added afterwards, or it's been repaired, or it's even been added a long time ago. You know, that kind of difference in building material really shows as a different age of the city. So I'm just building up the platforms that actually join up these two harbour walls with the main part of the city, and I'm going to use these as platforms to build some houses on as well. Now we had some water actually coming out of the walls on this side, so where we actually had East Point, so I've had to go in there and actually redirect that water so that it goes under these kind of walkways in here. So I'm not going to be building the buildings in this episode. That is going to be for next episode, because it's a big project, as I found. I was thinking, oh, I can do this all in one go. Turns out, no. It was one of those things. So I'm just going to put in the rough building shapes that we've got here. So this is what I'm going to go for. I'm going to keep that beach as well. So I've gone in and put loads of nice slabs in there of the smooth sandstone, so that we get a really nice gradient up that beach. And then mixed in some new materials, you know, bits of grass, things like that, and some coarse dirt as well. Putting in a little wall here, putting in the walkways. I wanted to get most of the structure in this episode done, so the next episode we can just focus on those buildings and get those all sorted. But the idea is going to be that, you know, from those gates you can actually walk straight onto the beach. So actually when you look through the city, I want to kind of have it where on the other side of the city you look through and you go, wow, I can actually see the sea, and I can see the harbour wall, and I can see the beach just on there. So it kind of invites you into that area, but also having these extra paths going along the sides. So of course, because we're having a fishing village, we need ships. Lots and lots of ships. So actually, as part of this entire episode, I actually built 10 new ships. Tons of little fishing boats, which I haven't done a lot of the smaller boats for a very long time. But that was quite interesting to have a look at all the different designs out there, and then trying to actually make those in Minecraft, and having enough variety as well, so that they all have their own personality to them. That was a real major thing for me. They've all got to look like somebody's ships, look like something that somebody owns and goes out in, and some of them being bigger than others, so they'll go out further and can last for longer and have bigger holds. Also, as part of this bay, I thought actually it's quite built up. You know, we're not talking about a smaller fishing village, so I thought let's actually build this up with some piers coming out here, so we can get more ships onto it. And it just looked quite empty. Something about it was missing, and we need to get a way of getting to all of these little fishing boats and where you can actually moor them up. course, they're all on angles. There's no straight lines at all in this entire build, which is crazy. The only thing that's on straight is the ships. So yeah, having those in there and then building those onto these piers. But I really like the pier that comes out and sticks out quite a lot. I really like how that turned out, with lots of angles being involved on it. So I built 2 new sloops as part of this, 2 kind of like smaller singular sailed or kind of like almost lantern sailed kind of ships. And I wanted to get those in there. I was actually quite happy with how those 2 turned out. And they weren't as difficult as I thought they were going to be. Usually when I've done this in the past, it's taken me a lot longer than it did in this episode. But yeah, just finishing up all of the little bits of details here and around all of the place for this part of the build. So here we go, guys. Make sure in the comments to give me a name for this area, something that is fishing related, because it's going to be its own little area of the city of Lordsport. I'm really happy with how it's actually turned out. It's also given us such a good stage as well for the next episode, so we can actually go in and do some building, get some of the houses, get some different type of housing than what we've seen before. These are going to be more smaller shacks. They are on the outside of the city, so they're not really as well protected. But what we have got with this is the harbour wall being quite small and kind of, you know, having quite a tight area to get through. You wouldn't be able to get large ships in to drop a lot of troops off, but it's still an area of weakness where they would lose their houses in an attack. But anyway, guys, hopefully you've enjoyed this episode. If you have, make sure to comment, like, and subscribe. And as always, I'll see you on the next one.